be joined by the homie from The Ringer, Joel Anderson. You've heard him. You've seen him. Made one of my favorite podcasts of all time. He chased down Justice Thomas. Even tried to knock down the door at his mama's house, and he got her to talk to him. Joel also wrote a really good piece about Arch Manning Day, which is kind of cool for a lead-in to our conversation about OU Texas. Joel, thanks so much for being here, dog.
Oh, anytime, RJ, man. You my brother, man. I'm glad to do it. And man, I love to do it for Oklahoma. I spent some time there. That's my place, man. So anytime you need me, I'm gonna try to be there, bro.
Well, I need you to probably tell me why I shouldn't feel so good about this Oklahoma matchup, because I'd be feeling real good about this Oklahoma matchup all of a sudden. You know what I'm saying? Like I was going into this preseason like, damn, we're gonna catch another L from this number one ranked team. But Texas goes from number one to unranked,
right?
Which did not expect. I thought they would be 5-0 by the time this game was played. And I think the symptoms of how they got to 3-2 as opposed to being 5-0 are harder for me to understand given the loss they just took to Florida. So I was curious, one, after writing a piece about Arch, and we know what we know after we write, do you think that it's more him? Do you think that it's Texas? And do you think it's OU Texas? They'll just put it together and they'll beat Oklahoma anyway?
This is I'm kind of a cop-out, but I think it's all of those things because I think for them to be as underwhelming as it is, it can't just be on one person, right? And so I think starting at the head here, Arch is just not as good as we thought that he was going to be, right? And people had warned us about this. Like some people like, we haven't really seen too much of him yet. And when he had some spot duty in the SEC championship game against Georgia, he looked like he was running for his life. Like it didn't look like somebody that was like ready for that moment, right? And so maybe that was sort of a clue. But you think, okay, he's got an offseason to put it together. And, it's all going to come together. Sark has worked with all these great quarterbacks and it's going to put together. But the simple fact of the matter is that he's just not as good as we thought he was going to be, right? And so that takes down the ceiling of Texas because really the whole concept here is that the reason people are voting Texas number one is that Arch is supposed to be the Heisman favorite. He's supposed to be the presumptive number one pick in the draft. If he's not that, then all of a sudden we have to reel back everything and really investigate what's going on in Texas. Like, oh man, they're replacing 4 starters on an offensive line that was really, really good, right? Quintravion Wesner, decent running back, but there's not a game breaker. And CJ Baxter still coming back from that knee injury. They don't have anybody. I don't know about you. I don't know how much you've watched Texas this year. I'm sure you've watched them every game, but I don't look at Texas on offense and say, wow, anybody here scares me. Nobody. Like for a team that's supposed to be the number one ranked team in the country, how can you look at the offense and be like, nobody here scares me?
Ryan Wingo scares me.
Ryan Wingo scares you for real?
Ryan Wingo scares me. Ryan Wingo, and the same reason I would say Arch scares me. DeAndre Moore scares me.
Man, what are they? This from stuff they've done this year or the?
No.
Okay.
Well, Wingo had, I think he actually played well against Florida. Okay. DeAndre Moore looked good on that scene that Arch just ripped. And I was going, that's the dude. Right
that was
there.
the DeAndre Moore I saw from last year.
Yeah. Right. And that was the Arch I saw from last year.
Right.
He saw it, he ripped it. I watched the safety rotate down. I said, rip the save. Let that mug go.
Right.
He's also facing Florida's defense doesn't get a lot of credit because they went in that game 1-3, but Florida's been really good on defense all year. It's what was shocking to me was Pete Kwiatkowski's defense getting worked by DJ Lagway for 298, rushed on by Jaden Ball for 127. Dallas Wilson, first game. Now I'm going to hit y'all for $1 and 2 TDs.
Do you think Dallas Wilson is the key to this in some ways? Because I'm like, it just felt like, I don't know, they got a lot of energy from that kid being out there. And it feels like it changes. It's like, okay, now the field is truly open, right? Like you got Vernell Brown on one side, you got Dallas Wilson on another. And it's just like, okay, like you can't, it just felt like the possibilities opened up for the offense with that. And then, Florida was coming off of a bye, right? Mm-hmm. And so maybe it gives DJ Lagway a chance to get fully healthy, right? Or get closer to healthy. And then it's just like, all right, we get a couple of weeks to go over the game tape, figure out what has worked for us, things that you want to try. How can we incorporate Dallas Wilson in the offense? And it's like, okay, that's a little bit more like the Florida team we thought we were going to see early in the year, right?
Yeah, and I also think that in Dallas Wilson opening up that side of the field, I think that's interesting, but it's really who he was doing this against, right?
Yeah.
Grayson Littleton is legitimately good, and he was getting his ass cooked by both Burnell Brown and Dallas Wilson. It didn't matter. Michael Taft made a couple of plays, but I saw that All-American getting absolutely worked like Blake Gideon might have got worked way back in the day.
Throw it back, man. Throw it back.
Telling you.
Okay.
Hey, look, and I'm looking, DeAndre playing that Jordan Whittington position, playing that Jordan Shipley position, and I'm going, hey, you got some dudes out here that can wreck shop. And I think Steve Sarkisian knows this, but it comes back to Arch. And I genuinely believe Arch is just not comfortable.
Yeah.
And the more I talk about him and the more I talk about quarterback play, it's how many games you played really matters how good you are. And I was thinking about this in the context of DJ Lagway as well. But put it this way. The dudes that we not just Arch, so I want to make this a little bit bigger when we have this conversation, because now that we got Feinbaum taking all the L's for picking up Texas and Arch, in addition to whatever the hell it is he's doing, saying he might want to run for Senate, put that to the side. That to the side. You got Lagway, who ain't been great. Right. You got Arch, who ain't been great. Garrett Nussmeier's not been great. Lenore Sellers not been great. Drew Aller doesn't have a clutch gene to save his life.
Bro, I mean, Drew Aller, again, the first game that I see Drew Aller play a good game against a good defense will be the first one I've ever seen. I've never seen it happen.
So that was it. Like when they were ranked number 2, I was railing on anybody else going, this is a team that can't beat a team they're supposed to beat.
Right.
Like Notre Dame last year, this year it was Oregon. If you got a 10 or lower next to your name, probably going to beat them. They're 4-25 against top 10 opponents. And Drew Aller's thrown away their last 2 opportunities to beat Oregon or Notre Dame. He had the ball, right, and he threw it away. Riley Leonard made a play. Dante Moore made a play. But the guys that are really functioning at a high level played a lot of football, just not a lot of football at places that folks were watching, like John Mateer at Washington State, Trinidad Chambliss at Ferris State. And
Cam Ward, Incarnate Word, Washington State. Yeah.
I'm saying, right? If it works, it works. But then you got this middle ground, and this is where Arch is really going to be catching hell. And I would be very curious to know your feelings about this. It's Julian Sayin's first season 2.
Right.
And he cooking everybody he plays, and his game is getting rid of the football. Like, that man doesn't hold the football. Like, their offensive line is basically brand new, too. Remember, They had 3 injuries on their starting offensive line and still won the national championship. But he's taken, I believe, 2 sacks, 3 sacks all year. And he's got the mutants, right? Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith and whatnot. Run game's okay. But that dude is playing lights out. And Dante Moore is playing lights out. So you got 2 basically new starters. I'm going to count Dante Moore as a new starter to compare Arch against. So what is it that we're missing in as far as is Julian just that much better at playing quarterback than Arch Manning?
I think that Texas is asking Arch to do a lot more, right? Okay. I think that he has a lot more burden of that offense. Because again, he's the leading rusher. You know what I mean?
But so is John Mateer at Oklahoma, by the way.
Right. John Mateer's a bad boy. And I mean, but then the thing about John Mateer also has a broken hand right now. You know? And so that was always we can talk about Mateer. I was like, man, the problem for OU is that they depend on him entirely too much. Like the hope was that Jaden Ott was going to be the dude, right? And that it would take some of that load off, and obviously that hasn't materialized. And at Texas, it was like, all right, well, we've got Wisner. He's 1,000-yard back coming back. And then C.J. Baxter was a 5-star kid. He's going to be okay. We're going to be able – and it's Texas. Like, we should be able to put in a guy who can get 1,000 yards for us no matter what. That is just not happening, right? And then, again, I know you say you like Wingo, but through the first few games, Parker Livingston was the guy.
I was telling everybody, there's Jordan Shipley.
Yeah, right, dog. And I'm just like – I mean, I'm not even because my co-host accused me of this is being prejudiced here. That I'm just like I'm judging the kid because he's white. You know what I mean? And I'm just like I think he's a good receiver, but I feel like if he's the guy that you look toward, if he's your number one option, you don't have a great receiving core.
Hey! Look, tell your co-host. Where was he when Lad McConkey was roasting people at Georgia?
Hey,
Where
man.
where was he when London Humphrey said it's 4th and 6, throw me the damn ball, Gunner Stockton, and he went and got that mug and said overtime, let's go.
I mean,
Like,
look, Hunter
man,
Renfro.
let me in that room, dog. Let me.
That's what I'm saying. Hunter Renfro helped Dabo get one of his. You know what I'm saying? So I can respect it. When I was growing up, Steve Largent was one of the greats. You know what I mean? So I'm
shouting out to you.
yeah, man. I can respect the white receiver, but I'm looking at Parker Livingston and I'm just like ah. And then that's even before we get to an offensive line that is clearly having problems, right? Like they're just not holding up. That they've not. I mean, and this is kind of I think the thing that is just, and I think it speaks to something larger than what you're talking about. Man, sometimes it just takes people time to get good, right? Like I still think that Arch Manning can be a good quarterback. Like if we revisit this conversation next October and he's not, second team, first team all conference caliber quarterback, and I'll be surprised. Right, I'll be like, okay, I guess it's really just not gonna happen for him. But he's going through the motions. Very few quarterbacks are great out of the box, and if they are, it's because hey, man, they've got a really great supporting cast. Maybe they played an extremely weak schedule, or it's Jameis Winston and Johnny Manziel, and they're just special, and they're going to win the Heisman, and you're going to get a chance. And even they were redshirt freshmen, so they still had some other, they had time in the system. And which isn't to say that Arch and all these other guys haven't, but it's like sometimes it just takes time. And I just think that's the thing with Arch is that he still needs time and he's not getting a lot of help. And I think that explains a lot of what is going on with Texas right now, at least on offense.
So that is making the Julian Sayin comp even more impressive to me because Bryce Underwood is another dude who's actually stepped up and been balling. Like
he's sort of
yes, right.
He's
and
special.
we say that, and I'm not always sure that people are aware of what it is that we say. It's one of one, right? It's like, but everybody's got one. No, everybody does not. Everybody thinks they got one, but then we play football. And like, I was actually giving this some thought about, how the transfer portal might interact with all of this because Trinidad Chambliss has been balling, but Austin Simmons is a baller, right? That Lane Kiffin gonna have a champagne problem here pretty late. Yeah. Arch is who Florida's going to have, or Texas is going to have next year. I don't really see another way to go there. Meanwhile, there's going to be some moving and shaking where we're going to be trying to find the next special guy. But to your point about redshirt freshmen, I hesitate to say this, but I am going to, as a lead into the OU part of this, just real quick. Mm-hmm. Kyler Murray was cheeks at Texas A&M.
He was not good. He was not.
He was not good. Mm-hmm. And that's the best high school football player the state of Texas has ever produced.
Ooh, man, you okay? All right. I it's hard to disagree, but I'm okay.
Look in the way that Derrick Henry is the best high school football player the state of Florida has ever produced. Fair. Like I can do this, and I've thought about it. But my point there is, even that dude not only needed a year, he needed a year and a year to sit.
Yep.
And then a year to go, okay, do I want to play? Yes, I want to play. And even then, baseball was like, yo, we're taking you in the top 10.
Yeah.
And the Billy Bean, I swear to God, maybe he'll live this down. I wouldn't let him. He said, we'd be disappointed if he didn't play. And the mug won the Heisman freaking trophy, the number one overall pick in the NFL draft.
RJ, have I told you, I was at that press conference, right, out there in Oakland?
No, you didn't.
When Kyler Murray signed for the A's, I went out there to when they introduced him, and I'll never forget this. So the agent, what's his name, man?
Boris?
Yeah, the baseball agent.
Scott Boris?
It's not Scott Boris. There you go. Okay. Right. Scott Boris is there. Kevin Murray is there, who is Kyler's daddy, a former great Texas A&M quarterback. And his uncle Calvin Murray there. So they're walking around, Oakland Coliseum. And then Kyler comes out, takes BP, and it's a big thing. And then he's around for the start of the game, first pitch. And there's 2,000 people in the stands. It's cold and windy. And I remember thinking to myself, Kyler Murray ain't never coming here again. I was like, Kyler Murray is going to play football at Oklahoma because I've been in Oklahoma. I've been in Norman on game day. He's going to go back to play football in the fall. And if he's good at all, there's no way he's coming back to this. Because I was like, it's one thing to do the minor league thing, and you understand that's going to be tough. But this is the majors, bro. And you look at it, I was like, oh, there's just no way. Like, there's nothing for him to get excited about. He can't be jazzed about this. So anyway, that was an aside, but I was there for that. And I'll never forget that day. I was like, oh, he's never playing for the A's. So yeah, Billy Bean, you messed up on that one, brother.
I was like, and now it's the Sacramento A's until it's, I think, the Vegas A's and so forth. But the slotted value is nothing compared to being a number one pick at quarterback as a quarterback in the NFL draft. But the comp there, I think, is also emerging for John Mateer on two levels. One, the Baker Mayfield of it all. I have the moxie to go do this. I have the grit to go do this. I point out the boy broke his hand in the first quarter against Auburn, and he finished the game.
I mean, that was crazy.
Went for 271, right? 14-16 in the second half, and led the comeback. And that's the Baker part, right? Yeah. The Kyler part is he still plays quarterback like a high school shortstop. And that's I'm having heartburn over here.
Yeah, man.
Like the jump pass and whatnot, that's in his game. Yeah. But I know it is stylish, and I know it's affecting because Michael Hawkins was out there trying to do that against Kent State. I'm going, honey, no.
That's not for you. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
And I'm also looking at what he means to the team because Jalen Hurts was that kind of a player, but his heart wasn't in it. Matter of fact, I wish somebody had told me that boy threw up the hooks before he left because I would have probably had a little different read on him. Yeah. But you come in here telling me that you graduated from Alabama. I'm like, you in Oklahoma now, all right? But play on the field, 3,000. I think he's 3,000 yard passer and a 1,200 yard rusher, but nearly 1,300 yard rusher, right?
That he was a finalist. He was a finalist.
Right.
Yeah.
Number 2 behind Burrow that year, right?
That's right.
So John Mateer gives a whole lot of those vibes. If you want to connect all three of those quarterbacks to Oklahoma, and I'm going to say this, and I wonder what you think. If the man thinks he can play, and the doctors clear him to play, but he's at 70%, isn't that enough to beat Texas on Saturday? And is it worth the risk?
So okay, that's a great question. I'm of two minds about this, right? I guess I would want to know how much more damage could he do to the hand? Could he re-break it? Something. I mean, obviously, it's football, right? I mean, every time you take a hit, something is at risk of breaking. But I feel like let's just say, and I know you don't want to think about this. Let's say OU loses this game, okay? I think everybody, voters and everybody, the playoff committee will give them a mulligan in this case because they'll be like, well, I mean, either Mateer wasn't healthy or Mateer didn't play, right? And Texas is going to be extremely desperate. Texas loses this game, they probably out of the playoff race. I could understand being like, I want to prioritize Mateer's health for the future, right? I want him to be as healthy as he can be for the stretch run because Texas is not going to be the toughest game we play the rest of the season. Like, it's one of many games that we're going to need him to be healthy for. But to your point, if he thinks he can play, if, he's looking decent in practice, I don't know John Mateer. Man, this is why you go to OU, right? This is the game. Like, how could you? I mean, that's the experience you want to have. You want to be in the middle of the Cotton Bowl, with an undefeated Oklahoma leading them on a playoff run. Like, I imagine if he were to miss that, that'd be an experience that would always kind of sit weird with him. So yeah, man, if the kid thinks he can go, he can go. But I also understand exercising a little bit of caution in this circumstance because it's like, hey, man, like they still have a lot to play for. And I think any voter, anybody on that playoff committee, if they're analyzing OU's resume at the end of the year, they'll be like, well, Mateer wasn't there, right? They had Michael Hart, they had to back up. So that's a mulligan.
It is very much the Jordan Travis Florida State situation all over again. I even compared to Arizona State last year. Sam Levitt needed to sit. They lost the game. Sam Levitt plays. They're good, but Arizona State was still creeping up on people, mostly because they were so bad the year before.
Right.
And they kind of backdoored into the Big 12 on a tie break because there were 4 teams atop that. And then they took Texas into the deep water. And people said, oh, all right, Levitt, Scattaboo, Tyson didn't play, right? Jordan
That's
Tyson
right.
might be
Didn't play. That's right.
might be the best receiver in the league this year. I think all of that plays, but I'm not really concerned about the college football playoff part of this right now. It's
Okay.
more like we know the result when Michael Hawkins plays quarterback at Oklahoma against Texas. It's
You
34.
said you still scared. You still scared to put him out there against them, huh?
It's not just that it's more like, can I trust you with the football?
Yeah.
Like I got two things, man. Don't put my ball on the ground.
Yeah.
Don't do that. And I'd much rather you throw this ball into row 57 than you throw it to the other team.
Right. Right.
And what happens is he takes the sack, right? That's what happens. And the offensive line at Oklahoma is not great. It's not bad. Jay Knott's on a milk carton. I mean,
do you know what's going on there? Is he just not lived up to expectations? Is he hurt?
Coach's decision.
Yeah.
Coach's decision. Torrey is apparently doing all the things that they're asking their running backs to do, and he's doing them the most often. True freshman. Which, at Oklahoma, that's not as extraordinary as it would be somewhere else. But what is Jay not getting as many touches. Like, he got more touches against Penn State. But the way I looked at it was, and I do this to the kiddos, to the recruits, to the dudes that call me Unc. Every now and again, I'll hand them a rotary phone.
Huh.
And I'll say, can you call your mama from here? You call your mama from here, I'll give you $100. So
why you got a rotary phone, man?
For as an actual factual demonstration of just what happens when you got a lot of talent, but you ain't really putting it all together right here. Yeah. I need your James Harden switch to get flipped on. I need you to start playing basketball like an old man at the Y. Okay, that's what's gonna get you through. Okay, that's what's gonna get you through. So I give him the rotary phone. I said, all right, cool, make a call. And some of them know where to stick their finger. They turn in, and they pick it up. Ain't getting no $100. Another one, he pick it up, turn, and get no $100. Hey, Joe, we old enough, and I think the people that watch this show are old enough. What's the thing you got to check for when you pick up the phone, put it to your ear?
Dial tone.
This ain't connected. This phone ain't connected nowhere.
Oh, man.
I have rigged your game. And if you could tell me ain't no dial tone, I'll pay you out. I will pay you out. RJ, ain't no dial tone here. But they ain't looking for it. I'm saying, yeah. It's what I know what I know, and I know what I don't know. That's me, right? I need you to do that. And I'm not sure that Jay Knott is there. I think he showed up expecting to be handed the football, and there's so many things he doesn't know. And I think a lot of that is pass protection. Right. Like Torrey and Javonte Barnes, they can pass pro. Right. But your two most talented rushers, even three most talented rushers, don't get touches because I don't think they can pass block. Man. And now you got a hurt quarterback, right? Actually, I want to hit you with another couple talks. We run up on time here pretty soon, but I got Oregon, Indiana. Yeah. And I got Ohio State, Illinois, and I'm watching both of those. The thing about Oregon, Indiana, though, is if Oregon beats number 7 Indiana, there's nobody left on the schedule. Yeah. Nobody. Yeah. And that game's at Boston.
It's wide open for them.
Right. If Indiana beats Oregon, I don't know that Oregon can make the college football playoff without making the Big Ten championship. And that would mean that either Indiana or Ohio State got to take an L. And Oregon doesn't play Ohio State this year. Right. And Indiana doesn't play Ohio State this year.
Do you think so they let's see, if they get past this, they've got Rutgers, Wisconsin, at Iowa, Minnesota, USC, and Washington. So like I guess it depends on what people would think of them winning at Iowa and USC, where they drop this game against Indiana.
The point to raise though, and this is where the Bomani Jones of it would probably pop in about back in my day, what it used to be. We didn't used to play. We didn't care who won the national championship. Well, I care who wins the national championship, and I don't want you to pick the national championship. Right. I want to know who the champ is. I want the belt. I don't want to share the belt. I want the belt. Right. And more than that, I want you to look at me holding the belt, and you not holding no belt. That said, the point to raise is Oregon could go 12-0, 13-0, 12-0, 13-0 in back-to-back years, and have absolutely positively no national championship to show for it.
Yeah, man.
That's impossible 40 years ago. Impossible.
Yeah. Right.
That's what the playoff in the format. So like this is also my big overarching. See, your itty bitty regular season games still matter. Stop that.
Oh,
It's Indiana.
yeah, bro, dog. I mean, don't even look, man. So all these games matter, bro. I mean, I don't know why people are like. I don't understand why people are saying that now. I mean, did it look like when Alabama? Are you gonna tell Caleb DeBoer and Ty Simpson and them when they left Tallahassee that they was man, you can lose a couple more times and still make the playoffs. It's not a big deal. Like these kids know the difference, man. When LSU left Ole Miss the other week, man, look, they understand it. Like, and especially with the way these schedules are now, because even like let's just say we don't think much of that Oregon schedule that I listed out for you there, man. I mean, once upon a time, a conference schedule that involved Washington, USC, and Iowa and Wisconsin would have been like,
we got Michigan USC this weekend.
yeah, man. I just kind of like it was still like, man, that's still a tough. I mean, maybe everybody's not ranked, maybe everybody's not top 10. That's still tough games, and these are kids, right? Yeah. They can lose any game, right? As we saw with Penn State at UCLA. So no, man. There's nothing will ever take. Nothing to me, at least, as a real college football fan, nothing will ever remove the drama for these games. All these games have a tremendous stakes.
I do think that there's a point that Cody Campbell makes in wanting to modernize the Sports Broadcasting Act 1964. The way in which you go on about it, I don't agree. If you walking up to people who are in control and you telling them and stepping on their foot that they should change, probably not going to do it. Probably going to spite you, right? Yeah. But the point to raise there is, I think when we talk about regular season games not mattering, I don't want to see Oklahoma play Kent State. I get nothing out of that. I don't want to see Oklahoma play Illinois State. And I'm picking on Oklahoma here for a reason, right? Because if I make it about somebody else, make it about somebody else. I like that Grambling got to travel to Ohio State because they got to see what is it? It's not the Marching 100. Damn, I had it. Marching 100 is FAMU.
That's FAM, right? Wait, not
Jukebox Jackson State.
Man, obviously not the Ocean of Soul. I gotta look this up now, man.
Yeah. But that was why they got the $1 million guarantee, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that was the point. They got that I like that game. They got beat 70-0, but they got beat. The point is, if we modernize it and we make these games that you're talking about the 12-game regular season, I think we got some found money here or not even found money. It's just money you're not getting, because we're all trying to protect our win-loss records. And by extending the playoff to 24 teams or making it look a little bit more like the NFL, or even, dare I say it, Texas high school football brackets.
Yeah, right.
We get everything that we're asking for anyway. Like the games are always going to mean something to me. And I really love watching the conference play and the interconference play. What I don't love is scheduling a G6 program or an FCS program so you can get the win. I mean, Oklahoma State's a great example of this. Do you realize that Oklahoma State has not won a game against an FBS opponent since September 14th last year?
Are you serious, man?
And that was Tulsa.
See, man,
that was Tulsa.
Look, man. See, so I could get on board with every now and again Texas should play North Texas, right? Or Louisiana should play Louisiana Tech. I was like, just for the tradition of it and whatever. Like, I think that should happen. But to your point, like, I can't remember which SEC school it is. It's somebody in the playoff race. It may be Alabama, but somebody plays like Eastern Illinois, second to last week before that. I'm like, who is that serving?
I think that's LSU. But it's like Georgia playing Mercer makes a little bit of sense. I still don't like it. For those of you who don't know, Mercer's in Georgia.
It's in Macon, yeah.
Yeah. North Georgia, South Georgia, which is not North Gwinnett.
Yeah, right.
Man, look, I know how to move around out there. How about that? I know where I'm not going to go. I'm not going to go to Upper Florida. That's where I'm not going to go.
Bro, man, what a bleak. I mean, I'm not trying to shit on Florida, Northern Florida, but man, that whole little stretch, like once you get past like Gainesville to about Macon.
Oh, no, I got you. So
it's really desolate.
My daddy's from a place called Campbellton, Florida.
Oh man, okay.
Which is about it's like 20 minutes from Dothan.
Oh man, okay. I spent like some weeks in Dothan, so I know Dothan. Okay.
So Dothan is the nearest large city.
Floribama. Oh man, wow.
Right, and then there's Gracefield, there's Chipola. Yulee is like 2 hours away. Yulee being where Derrick Henry was
from.
growing up, and I'm trying to tell y'all get out to that part of closer to Jacksonville. Also, depending on how you want to look at it, lower Georgia.
Yeah.
The point there is, I think that Mercer should probably make an appearance every now and again if that's what you want to do. But I also think that not everybody should be playing football anymore.
Yeah. Oh man. So you want to? I mean, I think that everybody should find their level. That's what I'm excited about for the realignment. This is like, okay, like Rice is not competing for the same things as Ohio State, and they should find a level with.
Wait, didn't we make this decision in 1978 when we split divisions?
Yeah,
okay. Are we gonna do it again? That's what I'm asking.
I think the thing is it's gonna. The thing is that everybody, the people that make the money, now are gonna be like, nah, you can't come. Now the problem though is that they're still gonna schedule a game or two like that. But I'm just like, I just don't. I'm trying to remember which HBCU coach was saying this earlier this year. He's like, man, like 3 of his quarterbacks got hurt in one of these games, and I'm like, bro, like they still have stuff to play for, you know. And besides getting everybody a bunch of Nike socks and jock straps for the athletic department. And so I don't know, man. Those games really bother me because like we don't have to watch them as fans. And athletic directors and everybody and coaches get mad at us for not wanting to go to a game on a weekend like that to watch them play somebody like Kent State. Like, bro, what are you talking about? Like,
oh man, we run up on it, but like, I want to get your sports media take on this because if you don't listen to Joel on the press box, I don't know what you're doing here because that is a gargantuan and large podcast, and I really love it, and I've loved it for a long time. And Joel being a part of it, I feel very much represented now. I feel like somebody understands. I'm listening to this too.
Yeah, I appreciate that, brother.
Yeah, man. No, it's fun. But I feel like I've had more coaches coming after dudes at press conferences here late than I've seen in recent. Elko, hey, we won the game. Brian Kelly, hey, we won the game. Like we're Steve Sarkisian. Where did you hear that? I don't follow you to the bathroom. And I'm looking around. I'm why do all y'all think y'all are saving all of a sudden? Like he could do that,
right?
Because I always say this: if you're a mean cuss, be the same mean cuss with everybody you meet, and that'll be all right. Just be consistent about it.
Yeah.
But I feel like I got more head coaches that are in their feelings at pressers now, and I wonder if you picked up that or not.
Well, I mean, I think that there's just a general tenor of disdain for media that has pervaded American society, right? Like, and it starts at the top. And so people feel like they can score a few cheap points by making a reporter look stupid or talking to them any kind of a way and embarrassing them in public. Because that is what a lot of people at the top of the food chain in this country has started to do. Like, right? Like they first of all, they decided that we don't matter and that also that we're liars and that also we're just not worth the respect, the dignity that you would show anybody else on the street. And so they kind of feel like they can talk to you. And also it's just like so many of these folks now, and it's not just the coaches or whatever, it's politicians, anybody else. They've got their own media avenue, right? So they're just like, the thought is that we don't need you. You're intruding upon us. Like I'm responsible for our messaging and you're just sort of an annoyance. And so I think that's what it is. But you know, the funny thing about that though, is that Brian Kelly went after a reporter and still people didn't like him. Like it was the one time people were like, man, you can't do that. I was like, I bet Brian Kelly is like, bro, I tried the trick everybody does and I still can't get away with it. I was like, y'all hate me that much for real? I can't say something to a reporter and people can't get mad at me for real?
And that is the point that I was going, that dude just missed the point because two things on that. One, no, we don't. Like LSU fans are like, you can coach. Right. That's why you're here. You can coach, but we don't love you like we say loved Ed O, right?
Yeah.
Or even for that matter, Saban. Less until right. Mm-hmm. But the third down offense is still trash. It's still not good. Like the question was money.
Well,
like,
that's a question LSU fans had. Like, what you gonna do about that offense, though?
That's why they weren't on his team. That's not a stray. That hit right where it was aiming, dog. Like
that's what they were thinking about coming out the game. It's like, yeah, but y'all were trash.
Yeah, it's like, but we won. I'm like, hey man, you can't keep doing all that. And A&M, man, if they can't hold it together, they're going. A&M fans. Yeah, bro. They can't be trusted when they are winning.
Oh man,
and they damn sure can't be trusted when they are. Do you know how pissed they gonna be if Texas puts it together just in time to beat them?
I know, man. That would be, I mean, it'd be the most aggy thing to happen.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
But you know, I don't know. I feel like Elko. I don't know. I feel something serious about him in a way that makes me taking him seriously, in a way that just is not in maybe since the RC Slocum era or something like that. I'm
That's
like, I feel like there's a that there's something that's a new sense of purpose, and I don't know. Like Marcel Reed seemed like he got his shit together. Like I don't know. I feel like this is a different A&M team. I'm falling for it. Is basically what I'm saying.
another dude that needed a year to play
Another
before.
another.
Like I went in going, if that boy can throw the football, they'll be good.
That's exactly. If he learn how to throw, they'll be all right.
Yeah,
And it
man.
looks like he's learned how to throw.
That is Joel Anderson of The Ringer. Read his piece on Arch Manning at The Ringer. I read it. It's very good. Joel has always been one of my favorite listens as well as one of my
Oh,
favorite
Archie,
reads.
my brother.
I go, he don't know this, but I go all the way back to seeing his byline at ESPN and then popping up and I saw a black face and I went, oh,
Oh
you
man.
know, Joel really got it like that, y'all. Like you go
Oh,
back with the
Archie,
AP,
man.
man. And there aren't too many people who's come up I really, really enjoy. And Joel is one of those. Thanks so much for being here,
Brother,
Joel.
feel very much the same for you, man. Anytime, brother. And I can't. I hope we get to do this in person one day. So.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. All right. Let me get us out of here.